Hi, I'm Crypto Dummy, and this is Crypto for Dummies Like Me. Say you're interested in cryptocurrency, but you don't know where to start. Well, luck has it, I'm going to do a video for you today. I will be downloading a wallet and showing you how it works and why we're downloading these types of wallets, along with talking about cryptocurrency in general, hopefully in a way that anybody can understand and make an educated decision if it's something they'll be interested in. So let's get into it. So, first things first, wallets. Why do we need one? Why do we have to download one? Why can't we just go on Binance or Coinbase, Get.io, one of these platforms, and use the wallet that they supply us? Well, it's quite clear. If you go back to when FTX collapsed, all the money and all the cryptocurrencies were frozen. And obviously the way that the money is divvied up from that is like, because it was now insolvent and it's gone into bankruptcy, that you have to queue up in a line to regain any of that cryptocurrency. It's not really your money. But if you move your money into a self-custodial wallet, then this can't happen. Even though if the platform went down, you moved your cryptocurrency into this wallet to show that it's yours. And even if the platform went down after that, the money is still in your wallet and you still have access to it. Without that, it's not really your cryptocurrency. Let's get into the wallet and download it for all those people who are interested in that and don't want to hear me drivel about cryptocurrency. Okay, so which wallet do we want to download? Well, this all depends on what cryptocurrency that you want to buy and use. If you're into Bitcoin, then you need to find a wallet that that supports Bitcoin. If you want more of an Ethereum-based wallet, then you need to find a wallet that is based on there. Everything that I've done is all based around Ethereum and a lot of the other platforms there. So the main one for that would be MetaMask. Now, you can also get a Trust wallet that does well, a Rabby wallet, which is very good as well for all these currencies. And as you see, after we've downloaded one of these, you'll see that you can use it for multiple different chains throughout the ecosystem. Today I will be doing Internet Money Wallet because the person who has asked for this tutorial and a breakdown is interested in seeing Pulse Chain and Hex. So this is the easiest way for a beginner to probably come into the community to ramp money in and out. So this wallet has some really good features. If you go over to internetmoney.io, and you should see the screen here with the downloadable version of the wallet. Why I'm going for this wallet is simply because I've had a lot of people asking about Pulse Chain and Hex and how to get into the community and the easiest way to get into the community. So because the community is somewhat suppressed, and I'll talk about this a lot more later, it is not the easiest thing. MetaMask is a good wallet, but they have been suppressing our totals and so that you can't always see how much you've got, and same with Rabby Wallet started doing it too. The unfortunate truth about Pulse Chain and Hex is that it's not very well liked from a lot of the mainstream players out there, and I'll explain this a lot more later in my details when I'm talking about cryptocurrency and the whole ecosystem rather than bore you. So it doesn't matter which wallet you download, it will all be set up very much the same way. So we're just going to download this. Obviously we're going to do it for Chrome. What it will do once it's downloaded is you will get a little pop-up here. See, I've got a MetaMask wallet up in this corner here. So once we've downloaded this extension, it will see a little money sign too, which is this sign over here, and this will be Internet Money Wallet. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to add an extension. And so this shouldn't take too long. Okay, view extension. See, now we have a new extension here in your browser. So this is where it's kept. It's not actually a downloadable. So if you did it with Android, you can actually put it on your phone. If you're just dabbling in cryptocurrency and want to keep up to date with it, it's okay to put it on your phone. But if you're going to store large amounts of money or do this more seriously, I suggest that you do this on a PC or somewhere a little bit more secure than an Android phone. So if we go up to the browser now and we click on the wallet itself, okay, so you have two options here. You can either create a new wallet or you can import a wallet. Now, importing a wallet is as simple as when we create a wallet for the first time, we'll be given what we call a seed phrase. Now, a seed phrase can be made up of 12 or 24 individual words created out of nothing. Now, that seed phrase can get you back into your wallet. So if you, for any reason, go to a new phone, a new laptop, or you just simply lose that wallet for some reason, and you've got your seed phrase, you can then import a wallet and put the seed phrase in, and it will bring that wallet back and help you recover that wallet. Obviously today we are going to create a new wallet. So we're going to create, please accept the terms and conditions down here, so you must tick these as well. Okay, so here's the first part of it. Understanding the basics. What is a wallet? Exactly what I'm talking about. With this wallet, you can create an account. Those accounts store information about and allow you to interact with cryptocurrency. It's kind of like a crypto bank account, which is very true. In a couple of moments, you will generate a seed phrase. Understanding the seed phrase is one of the most important components of cryptocurrency journey. In this particular wallet, you'll be receiving your seed phrase will be 24 words are unique to you. So it's not going to generate the same one over and over again. It's going to obviously in the generation system, it's obviously got massive amounts of words, and it will generate 24 unique words to you. With these words or these 24 words, someone can steal all of your cryptocurrency. Like I was saying at the start, this is how you recover your money. This is the most private thing you can do. Now, I suggest that you find a little journal or a book and write this seed phrase down. Handwrite it, double check it, triple check it, make sure it is correct. Do not take a screenshot of it. Do not save it to your computer or save it to your phone. There are plenty of little bots out there and spyware that are actually looking for these things now. Because cryptocurrency is becoming a lot bigger, they have these bots out there trying to scam these things, because if they get it, they will drain your account immediately. And that's simple. Now, if you're just doing a dummy account like I am, I'm going to show everyone my seed phrase, because I will delete this account after I'm done with it. When your seed phrase is generated, an account will be also generated. Your account has a public key or public address. So this address is pretty much your identity online. So if you go and do any transactions online with cryptocurrency, people can see this address. It's okay for people to see this address. Your account is a public key or public address. Anyone can view this public address. It is completely safe. This is how people send cryptocurrency assets. And you'll see this a little bit later. I'll explain that more once we're up and running. With each public address, with each public key you generate, a private key is also generated. Never share this private key with anyone. If anyone knows this private key, they can also steal your money. Make this something that you'll remember, make it safe and store it in safe. Passwords and passcodes cannot be recovered if lost. Remember, this is decentralized. They do not hold any information for you, so you can't just contact them like a bank and say, oh, I forgot my password. You know, they don't have those features in Decentraland. The only way to access your crypto assets is with your seed phrase, okay? Just like I was saying before. So you understand? Let's set up a password. Okay, passwords, be creative. Make sure, as you see up here, they've got to contain 10 characters. Make it hard for yourself. Make it something that you would remember, but is not common. Okay, so once you've created your password and you've written it down in your book as well, make sure you save these, be creative. You will be generated a 24-word seed phrase, and this is how it looks. Now, again, please write these down. If you're serious about protecting your money, you need to write these down in books. Do not keep them on computers. Do not screenshot them. Do not save them to a file on your computer, because, again, there are bots out there that are trying to spy to see these things. So once we click confirm and we get started, it will create a wallet. And this is the last time you'll be able to see this. So make sure you don't move past this point. Double, triple check it before you move past it if you're doing this wallet. Places like MetaMask, maybe Rabi Wallet, I'm not too sure, I can't remember that one. But definitely MetaMask, when you download it and do the tutorial, the seed phrase that it puts out, it will ask you what was number 10, what was blah, 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 and you'll have to fill them in to move on, just making sure that you have the concept and you have written them down and saved them. Okay, so let's get started. Voila, you now have an account. Now, the good thing about these accounts, now, if you're not into Pulse Chain, you can still use this wallet. If you go up here to networks, you have all the networks under the sun. Pretty much, they pretty much go with 95% of them, as far as I'm aware. So you've got Ethereum, you've got Base, you've got Binance, Poly, Arbitrum. You've got all of these networks, you know. So don't panic if you want to do other things other than Pulse Chain. That's fine. As I said, I'm just doing it today because this is for somebody who's actually asked for this. Okay, so we're obviously going to stay on Pulse Chain for now, and then we can just go into our wallet. Now, of course, you will not have any money in your wallet. So how do we get money there? This can be complicated depending on where you're trying to get money from. Now the good thing about this wallet is you have an option here that you can actually buy. So you can actually physically buy through Australian dollars, is what we are. If you're in Europe or Brazil or any of these other countries, Great Britain, you can actually purchase directly online. The stock standard is PLS. Why? Because that's what you need to pay any fees. When you're moving money around, if you're buying cryptocurrency in any type of form, you'll have to pay a fee. Now, if you're on Ethereum network, you'll have to use Ethereum to pay the fee. If you are on Pulse Chain, you'll need PLS to pay the fee. If you're on Arbitrum, obviously Arbitrum to pay the fee. You understand, you see where it's coming from. Think of blockchains as like little countries. While you're inside that country, you'll need to use the currency of Pulse Chain in that community to pay for things or for transaction fees, etc. Obviously, if you went to another country and try to use the money from your country and that country, it doesn't work. You have to either bridge it over or swap it for the currency that is being used in that particular country. So, and it's the same as platforms here. So with Ethereum and Pulse Chain, all those, you need a specific currency when you're on those platforms. So, which is good because on this particular wallet, they have a thing called change. So you can change into different currencies. Anything that you can see here will be able to be changed. So you have the change. You also have a swap feature within the wallet yourself. You can actually do swaps for different tokens. Okay, so these are good little features. Right, first things first. Adding tokens to your wallet. This wallet is really good for adding tokens to your wallet because it has a number of preloaded tokens already on the system. So you can just go through, find the one that you want, and you can actually bring it in. A little bit later, I'll show you how to do individual ones. If the one that you want from that ecosystem is not on there, then you can do it that way. So the biggest ones that we like and we talk about is obviously going to be Hex, Pulse Chain. Now, if you're in this wallet and you like the layout and you like the features and everything else like that, and you want to support and you want to actually earn dividends, this is the good thing about decentralized platforms. A lot of them offer you rewards for being a part of the ecosystem. You must add that token to your wallet so your wallet can see it. It doesn't mean that you're going to lose the money, it just means you can't see the money. And quite a lot of the times you'll go into something like a portfolio tracker and you'll see, oh, what's that token? It may be something that you bought or was given for free along the way, and you don't see it in your wallet because you haven't downloaded that coin. Okay, so hopefully you understand that. Okay, you can also remove tokens anytime you want to if you're not using them. But with the Internet Money Wallet features here, these time and IM and features are rewards. So if you come back out to the main page, you have a dividends reward. So if you buy some of the time tokens and store them within your wallet, you will automatically receive some PLS as payments. Money into the wallet. So for the person who I'm making this for, this is something to take note of right now. This particular wallet, this is your address that they talked about when we made the wallet. This one is okay for anyone to see because this is what you need for money to be transferred. Now I'm going to help this particular person out. I'm going to transfer some money over to him so he's got some fees inside the wallet, because the first thing that you'll need to do is get some PLS straight away. You need some of this token, otherwise you will not be able to perform any transactions because you need it to pay for transactions. Now, like, it's not expensive. So just so we understand, in Ethereum, when it was at the height of the bull market last season, transactions were costing $20 or $30. Just so you understand that things can get out of hand when things are going through the roof. Fortunately, with Pulse Chain, it's a fraction of a cent. So it may look like 1,000 PLS, but as you can see, it's not worth a lot at the moment. So therefore, it might be a 0.2 of a cent. And we'll see this a little bit later when we do a transaction. So the first thing you need to do for this particular person I was talking about is copy this particular address and paste it and send it to me to my phone. And this way I can use this address to actually send you a little bit of money to play with to get used to it. And then we'll do some tutorials in how to actually get your own money into these wallets. Okay, so that's the end of it, really. So this is the biggest thing. This is how you get your wallet. If you've already got cryptocurrency, you can actually transfer cryptocurrency into this wallet at any given time. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So luck has it, I already have another wallet with a little bit of coin in it. So we can do a transfer live so you can see how it works. So I have a MetaMask wallet here, and if we'll open this up, okay, and so it's a different account number, because it's a different account. It doesn't have a lot of money in it. As I said, it's just for tutorial purposes only. Okay, so I've got a few tokens in here. So what we're going to do is, obviously for transactions on this account, we need PLS before we do anything else. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this address. So it's been copied. We're going to go into our other wallet. So we're going to send. So we're in this format here. We have copied that to our address. Yes. We are going to send. We're going to put the address in, the address that we just copied. We can now paste. That's loaded. So this address should match this address. So we've got here ending in C353, B335, B335, X. Okay. The amount that we're going to send, we'll just send, do 100,000 pulse, confirm. It's just like a bank transfer. So you're just sending it from your account to this account, which it says it's not familiar with yet. It shows you the network fee, and then we are going to confirm. Depending on the platform that you're on and what you're trying to send, these can take anything from instantly, like within seconds, to 4 or 5 minutes. So there you go, confirmed. Okay, so now if we just sort of maybe refresh this particular wallet, we refresh button up here. Look, now we have our money. So we've got 100,000 PLS in there. Now, as I was talking before, what happens if I send something that we don't have? So if we go back into our MetaMask wallet, now there's some coins that I've created myself, but we haven't put them in the new wallet. So we're probably going to have to do this. So we're going to go the same thing again. We're going to go send. We are going to put the same address in again. Okay, so it says it again in B3C35. Now just make sure every time you do this, don't get complacent. Check it every time that the address that you are putting in is the right address. So that if you send it to somewhere you don't know, you're going to lose it. Okay, so with this one here, maybe we'll put, so it's saying that a minimum I could send was 1 million. So we're going to do that here. So we're going to confirm and wait for it again. We'll just do it live so you can see how long it takes. I think the last one was about 10 to 15 seconds that it took last time. Okay, and confirmed. Now, if we go over here and we refresh this one, we can't see our token. Why is that? It's because we haven't added our token. Now, it doesn't mean the token's not there. If you get stuck and you cannot find your tokens that you've transferred, here's a quick and simple way to do it. We'll go over to Pulse Coin List here, so which is one of the really good features that they've developed for the Pulse Chain community, since no one else will let anyone know their totals and how everything has been going. But in this particular platform, you have a portfolio tracker here, so you can do this, and then it's exactly as you're transferring money. You just paste your address in here, and then we're going to have a look at that address, and it will tell you everything you've got. Hopefully. Okay, so there's several ways of you being able to do this. Is what you need is the contract address. On this particular platform, if you look beside the token that you're trying to put into your wallet, there's normally these little buttons here. Now these little buttons here will allow you to actually add it to your wallet. You can either copy it, or you can add it to generally your MetaMask wallet, but if you've got something open like this particular wallet here. So what you can do is you have here add and remove tokens. So to manually do it, we're going to do that, and we're going to have to paste the contract address in here. Now the contract address is here. The contract address is, so this is doing it manually. If it won't work the way that I showed you, which is if this will not work, which has decided not to work now, then this here is the contract address. So what we do is we copy this. We're just going to copy it, and then we're going to go back to our wallet, and then we're going to go in here, and we're going to add token. So we're going to add, we're going to import a token, and we're going to paste the address that we just copied into here. Okay, and just click anywhere on the screen, and it should give you the symbol automatically and the 18%, and we're going to import. Okay, now if we go down here, you can see that we have 1 million of these tokens, and that's worth $36. There you go, it's our biggest holding now. That's how you import a coin that you don't have in your wallet into your wallet. Right, so there you go. There's a wallet up and running. Moving on to how wallets work. By going to a platform, so like Pulse Chain here, or Pulse X or anything else like that, you have to connect your wallet. So a lot of these places will have Wallet Connect. So connect your wallet. You'll choose which wallet you want. So if you look at your browser, I have a MetaMask and I have an Internet Money wallet, the one we just created. So why don't we go to the Internet Money wallet? It will ask you for approval. It says app connections, and we're going to either reject it or we're going to accept it. Why does it say account? Because you can make multiple accounts in every wallet. So if you like to connect online for safety, you can have a small amount in a wallet that you want to go out and play with and experiment with and buy tokens. And then you can transfer it into another account inside that very wallet, so that you can protect the bulk of it. So on this platform here, just be aware too, if you look at the totals before you actually transfer or sell anything, you know, there's a price impact. That's the fee that you're paying for it. So we're going to confirm. Your wallet should be asking you every time that you do something. So your transaction request has been submitted, so you just have to wait for it to submit. It'll sit down here and confirm for a little bit. Sometimes some platforms again can be slower or faster than others. Transactions, and as you can see here, we can click on the transaction, okay, and it shows you your gas fee. See, look, there we go. So 42.27 PLS. Which is a gas fee, is not even registering as a cent. So that shows you how cheap these things are. Okay, and once it's all been processed and everything, you should be able to go back into your wallet, into your account. Well, it's a bit slow playing up because it's just been very slow. We'll come back to that shortly and have a look, and we'll refresh it again and have another look. Okay, so let's talk about tokens, etc. while we're in here. Okay, so let's talk about tokens. So here over on pulsecoinlist.com, you'll see all the ecosystem tokens for Pulse Chain. Now this varies from everything from, fading down here, everything from Ethereum to Bitcoin to the main tickers from Richard Heart, which are obviously always pasted at the top of the page, because these are the most important ones in my eyes. Now, if you want Ethereum, you can still buy Ethereum on this page. You just have to be careful. So when Richard Heart designed Pulse Chain, he split Ethereum. So what does that mean? It means that Pulse Chain is a complete clone of Ethereum. And the time that he did this, he chose to take a screenshot, and everyone holding a MetaMask wallet or a wallet that connected to Ethereum and held any of the products, including Hex, Ethereum, DAI, all the stuff that is on Ethereum, got a free copy over on Pulse Chain. That's unbelievable. The biggest airdrop, biggest giveaway ever in crypto history that I'm aware of. So when you come down through the list of coins, you will see stuff like, what? Wrapped Bitcoin is only at 500 bucks? That can't be true, because it's worth over 100,000. We know that. Because this here is a copied version of Bitcoin. Now, when everyone got their free versions and came over to Pulse Chain, a lot of the people just sold it down. So you just need to be aware of that. So if you see up here, you've got DAI stablecoin from Ethereum. That's the real one. That's the one that's going to be a real stable coin. Where you have down here, you have DAI stablecoin, and it's only worth 3 cents. Not even 3 cents, 0.3 of a cent, because it was the copied version, and people don't hold value to those copied versions. So that's something you need to be very aware of when you're in this ecosystem. Now, as you go down here, you'll see lots and lots and lots of different coins, okay? And a lot of these ones most wanted. These are tokens that are created on Pump Tires, which is a coin here. Pump.tires was another platform made by Richard Heart to create meme coins. If you go over to the likes of Solana and that, it's really bad for people creating meme coins and dumping it on everybody. But everyone keeps using it, so it's quite interesting. So I think Richard Heart, who originally said he'd probably never do anything along the lines of a meme coin, has changed his mind and done this, but he's done it right. So he's done it like a fair launch, where it can only graduate onto the Pulse Chain ecosystem once it gathers enough liquidity to be bonded. Now that liquidity gets burnt, so that it can never be rugged from anybody. So once it gets bonded and goes onto the Pulse Chain, that liquidity is then burnt forever and cannot be taken away. So that liquidity will always be there. So people can't dump it to zero on your head. Let's talk about the first of Richard Heart's tokens. PLS. Now PLS is the first token that you'll need if you are coming over to the Pulse chain, because it's what you pay your fees in. Anytime you do a transaction or buy something, there is a small fee involved. Right, so when it was first launched, obviously everyone was buying it so that to get into the ecosystem. Once the ecosystem and Pulse chain was launched, everyone obviously using it to buy other tokens, etc., and selling it down. So as you can see here, it actually dumped quite heavily. Normally the case scenario with most coins. So that's something you need to be aware about. When they first get launched, if people are holding a lot of these tokens, they quite often dump them quite heavily as they use them for something. Now, and we did have a little bit of a real pick-me-up here, where it got right back up to this point, but then we had, this is a March 24, we had a number of things happening through our community which divided a lot of people, which caused this market to crash back down. The next coin I'm going to talk about, Pulse X, was actually trading slightly higher, if I remember rightly, in these times. Simply for the reason being is, apart from the fees structure, a lot of people weren't using the PLS token anything more than transfers. Now, some of these transfers go over to validators, and I'll talk more about them. So validators are people get rewarded in PLS for doing a transaction on their computer. So as they accumulate the PLS, they would obviously want to take the profits from that, and of course sell it down. And so the coin wasn't going anywhere for a long time in my eyes, until the launch of what we just spoke about, which was the pump tires. Now with pump tires, because the liquidity is burnt, it's now burning PLS, which has seen it gain a lot more traction in recent times, even though the graph's not looking the greatest. Because tokens are getting burnt, it gives this token a little bit more utility than just being a fee token. Okay, let's move to the next token, which is PLSX, and we'll do the same thing. We'll span that right out. So we obviously had very high demands, and people sacrificed to get these coins, and of course they were dumped. As you can see, a lot of these figures are probably better than the PLS because it's been higher. The Pulse X token has a buy and burn feature built into it. What does that mean? So it means that over on the platform here, whenever we do any transactions or we do any farming or all these sorts of things, it buys a little bit of the token and burns a little bit of the token. So because of that burning feature, a lot of people were supporting this token a little bit more, and I do like it, and I think it's a really good buy, and it's very low at the moment. So it seems to be bouncing through here between 4 zeros and 4, and 4 zeros and just under 2. So I reckon between 4 zeros 2, 4 zeros 4, it seems to be the bounce that's happening at the moment. So if you're looking to buy something, and you see the token getting down towards the bottom of the chart here, support down here. What I mean by support, it means it doesn't seem to go past this point very often. If you track it down, this seems to be kind of the bottom of the token. It doesn't seem to ever go any lower than this. So if you get it anywhere down towards this thing, you are essentially buying the bottom. Now hopefully if we actually get a bull market and we get a run, then this token will slowly start creeping back upwards, and we'll start seeing up until the right over time. Now I believe that over the next couple of years, I've been buying this token every time it gets down to this point, and hoping that in a couple of years time, that when enough users come into this space, then we will see that this token will slowly go up because of the burning supply. So how much has been burnt. Okay, so the next token is an INC token, which is the incentive token. If we go over to Pulse X here, and we go to farms, how you get this token, you can buy it, yes. But for anyone who's providing liquidity in this pool, gets paid out on this token. So if you wanted to supply liquidity in Hex and Pulse Chain, or PLS, then you could stake it and you get 1.2% APR. Some of these tokens that have been really good, they've been up around 90 to 100% on some of these tokens when the platform first launched, because it was trying to incentivize people adding liquidity to the chain. Because in recent times, with a lot of the split and division in the ecosystem, a lot of people have just been dumping these tokens and not holding them. So it looks like Richard has removed a lot of the APY, so it's not so high. Therefore, people are not going to be incentivized to keep dumping the tokens. That's moving forward. That's Richard's whole game here. He wants to have one of the best tokens and platforms available. Okay, moving on to the next coin is Hex. Now you can see here we've got two hexes. Now, eHex is Hex from Ethereum. This was the original Hex. So this thing here, even though Richard Heart was called a scammer, and that he was just going to dump it on everybody. This token actually did a 10,000x, and it made a lot of people a lot of money. But yet, he's still a scammer. That's strange that. So we've got the eHex over on Ethereum, and we also have Hex on Pulse Chain. So why is Hex on Pulse Chain higher than the Hex on Ethereum? So when Pulse Chain was launched, a lot of people bridged in all of their Hex tokens from Ethereum. They also had a copy of Hex. There's a lot of people sold eHex and brought it over to Pulse Chain, or moved it in and sold it for other items, selling this one right down. And it seems that the Hex on Pulse Chain was going up in value. If the whole ecosystem could just understand where we're trying to get to, I think that this could be one of the best platforms to do cryptocurrency anywhere around. Like there's a lot of places out there that started off really well, like Binance and everything else like that, but after what happened with FTX collapse, that is sort of a moot point now, because unless you're holding your cryptocurrency in a Web3 wallet, or a self-custodial wallet, then it's not really safe and it's not really your currency. And just because you're part of Pulse Chain, it doesn't mean that you can't buy the big tokens. They're here to buy. So if you want to, you can come in here and you can buy Ethereum, which is at just under $4,500 at the moment. You can come in here and you can actually find the proper, probably Bitcoins here somewhere too if you wanted to. There's plenty of meme coins. There's plenty of stuff here that you can buy if you really, really want to. And every day, new bridges are being built, and there's so many of them to go through right now. But there's, PortX, where you can transfer different tokens through. There's now Liberty Swap, which you can bring USDC through from all these different platforms. Some of the original ways that it's a bit harder from places like Australia who don't have the currency to get into. Sometimes you have to go through, set up a Coinbase account so you can put Australian currency in it, buy USDC, and then get it over into Pulse Chain. But I see on-ramps coming everywhere. I see development going on in the background everywhere, and that's why I'm excited about Pulse Chain. All right, I think that will do for my rambling on tokens. Okay, let's talk about validators. What's a validator? So if we go over to GoPulse, and you come into your stats and everything else, and this is a validators. So what's a validator? Let's talk about how blockchain mostly works. Blockchain is pretty much a concept where instead of having one big centralized computer like Google or something else like that runs everything and controls everything, collects the information and all the data, and feeds it out, blockchain is more designed around running nodes through multiple little computers, like your own PC, create one big network. And so what a validator is, a validation node can be downloaded onto your computer, and it acts by using your computer power to perform transactions and basically become part of the network and solve problems. So if a transaction's been done, it puts a status out there, and these nodes read the status and they process the what's been asked of it. And in reward for the computer that processes that, they get a reward as in the token that has been used. This happens with a lot of cryptocurrencies. In Pulse Chain, we do have quite a large number. We have active of 52,935 active validators. So that's our network just right there. 52,000 computers out there doing all the processing power, using the processing power to make sure that this network works. Now, the average current APR is 9.53 per year. To become a validator, there's a couple of things that you really have to understand. You have to have a reasonable sized computer to be able to cope with it. Of course, internet speeds are probably a big factor, and you'll also be asked to stake at least 30 million of your PLS tokens to show that you're serious. So it's not an easy feature to do, but you can earn quite good money by doing it. I don't do it yet because my computer's not strong enough to do it, and I'm doing so much other stuff on my computer that it would probably just, I wouldn't make much money. I've done other ones, like I've tried AOS token, which is another token that I hold. I've used validation node on there, and to be truthful, I think I made 3 cents in a period of 3 months, which doesn't pay for the electricity, so it's not worthwhile. And being in Australia where I live, there's probably not that many people trying to do transactions anyway, so I say it would probably be based around more where there's high volumes of tokens being traded, that the validators probably get paid a little bit better. So that's pretty much how blockchain works. Rather than having a huge centralized department that has a big block tower with computers filled with it that run and control everything, blockchain technology is designed to be spread out over everybody. Rather than rewarding a major entity like Google, it rewards the individuals like ourselves, and that's where a lot of people see the freedom come. So your information, your data, all that sort of stuff pertains value. So by running nodes that deal with this data and paying back into the community means that the money gets divided amongst the people rather than to a centralized entity. And that's how blockchain works. Okay, so hopefully this is a bit more understanding. Hopefully you understand that getting into cryptocurrency, you need to do your own due diligence. You need to be safe, and you need to be very aware of how everything works, and don't put a lot of money in until you understand it fully and that you can be safe. I would just put little bits of money in and just play with it until you fully understand it. So if worst comes to worst and you did lose money, you only lost it a little bit. Now, the biggest thing with cryptocurrency in my eyes is only what you can afford. I treat cryptocurrency as a gamble, as if you're going down to the casino and playing with it, because at any given time, what's to say the government's not going to turn everything off? I don't mean to put you off cryptocurrency, because I think it's going to be around for a long, long time, but you just never know. And it'd be nothing worse than putting a whole lot of money into cryptocurrency to see it all disappear, because that's happened to me before. I was involved with FTX when it collapsed and I lost money. It's not a good thing, but I'm still here and I'm still fighting. But again, only what you can afford. Make sure you've got money to cover your bills, things. Don't be a proper gambler where you put more than what you can afford and bet your house and then lose your house. We don't want to see anything like that. But we do want to see communities like Pulse Chain gather a lot more momentum, so that the people can have an option away from banks. All right, that's enough drivel from me. I hope this helps you understand.